So many of the things we experience in life, joy, sorrow, success, failure, challenge, elite athletes, they can experience all of that in one game. So to cope with the pressures of their profession, they put in the work to adopt the right mindsets and perspectives. And my next guest is someone who helps them do that. Dr. Tom Golighltly is the clinical sports psychologist for Real Salt Lake, and he believes we can improve our overall well-being if we learn the lessons that many elite athletes have mastered. Good to see you, friend.
Thanks for having me.
So when Tom's here, he's such a great guy that we all just like to talk and shoot the breeze with you, Tom, the great guy. But we're also just so incredibly fascinated with what you do, and you do it so well. And I know you get a lot of questions about the psychological impact of sports.
Yes.
What drew you to this field or that specific genre?
Now, I didn't grow up thinking I was going to do this, and I think as I participated in sport and enjoyed it and found meaning in it, as I became a psychologist, incorporating that just kind of felt like a natural fit for me. And so looking at that field and seeing teammates all throughout my time kind of struggle with things, there wasn't this field when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got in at the ground floor, and I was one of about 20 doing it at the time, and now there's over 300 kind of nationwide, and so it's amazing.
It's interesting in that I think we watch, these elite athletes perform or compete, and we think, yeah, everyone can see how the mind game would be such a huge part of it.
Right.
Does the average spectator, though, even underestimate the mind game and what it can, the impact it can have on the sport or on the outcome of a game?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I even think a lot of athletes do. It's those that buy in, those that really invest in this, you see them really elevate their performances. And you'll see coaches kind of talk about most mistakes are mental. Over 90% of the mistakes they chalk up to mental game, but we spend less than 5% of the time training the mental game.
You're sharing today 4 attitudes of elite athletes that we can adopt,
Yes.
us lay mortals can adopt into our everyday life. Can you think of a personal way, though, that an athlete's example has impacted you in this regard?
I have to be careful with confidences. Some of my clientele's pretty recognizable. But I think what's really, really fun as a psychotherapist is we get to work in this space, and it's a very sacred space where we're holding emotion and dealing with people's pain. But there's this added piece with clinical sports psychology where I get to see them flourish and thrive and go and really kind of make the most of what they're doing and celebrate that win with them. So I feel like that's kind of an honor to be able to, yes, remove some of the obstacles, but also see them really take it and go.
I don't mean this as a devil's advocate question, because, and I can ask this, I think, because you know how much I deeply respect and revere what you do at your level. When you see parents trying to invest in this game for young kids, do we overdo that? Do we overthink that? Does an 8-year-old need a sports psychologist? Does a 12-year-old need a sports psychologist?
I don't know about that question,
Okay.
but I will say that, yes, I think generally speaking, especially early on, sport needs to be fun. It just needs to be what it is. If there is that propensity to maybe elevate that level, great, then let's do that when we get there. But let it be fun and enjoyable as long as it can be fun and enjoyable.
All right, let's dive in. First, you say athletes know their why.
So this is, motivation comes and goes, right? And life and sport takes everything from you, physically, emotionally, mentally, socially. We're just drained, right? And sometimes life be life and really hard, and you wake up and you're like, do I really want to do this today? What we can do is we can decide on how we engage based on why we engage. And if we know why we engage and why we're doing things, then the decision's already made. I don't need to worry about when I wake up making decisions about how I'm going to engage the day. I made that decision days, weeks, months, years ago. So if I can really base it on the values and know the importance of why I'm doing things, then I don't need to worry about, well, I don't feel like that today. Well, I already made that decision. So I'm just going to get up and I'm going to engage it. And I promise you, athletes wake up tired and injured and sore, and they might have just flown in the night before from a performance. Make the decision to get up and go.
I'm also thinking that you work with athletes who make a lot of money.
Yes.
And for a lot of people watching, they might not equate to the dollar figure, but they can equate with the idea of like having to get up and fulfill a responsibility for an outcome, like a paycheck. Do you still feel it's important to dig beyond the necessity of it? Does that make sense? And find a why, even in the mundane work that we do Monday through Friday?
And I would argue pro athletes have to kind of work to eliminate that. Like, yes, they are getting paid, and,
Yeah.
and some of them handsomely, some of them not. But that can be a distraction in of itself. And you lose your why in some of the reinforcers, but all of us can find, like, here is our purpose. This is what drives me.
Yeah.
And again, if my values drive that question, then I already know how I'm going to engage the day.
I remember getting the invitation many years ago to speak to a group of, it was an assisted living facility group, and I really got into the weeds of what they did and how they did it and how they served and showed up to care for these people in vulnerable stages of life. And that mind space was so helpful in that you can find a why
Absolutely.
in any work that you do, whether it be lucrative or glamorous or mundane or hard. Like, you can find a why, and that can drive you on the hard days.
The meaning has to drive it.
Yeah. You say elite athletes are not afraid to fail big, and we shouldn't be either.
So this one, we try to manage uncertainty, like what's going to happen through our behavior. We think if we act perfectly, we're going to avoid all of the trouble. The difficulty with that in life and in sport is trouble's going to find us, right? And that it doesn't matter how we act. What I think elite athletes do better than anyone, those that really thrive and stay in elite sport a long time, is they get knocked down, but they get up every time. And they're not afraid to make that big failure on big stages.
Yeah.
They just have already made the decision, yep, that's going to happen. I'm going to get up and go again. And I think we, in our avoidance of trying to do that and trying to keep it between our lines, we avoid the rewards of those things coming.
Because we avoid the risk.
Because we avoid the risk. And so if we kind of lean into that uncertainty, we embrace the uncertainty.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to fall on our face sometimes.
Yeah.
But if we keep picking ourselves back up, that's what makes them elite. And we can really learn a lot from that, and especially as we teach our kids.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
okay to make mistakes.
to make this.
I love this for the average woman too, because I think you almost have to seek it out in everyday life.
Yes.
Athletes are given the arena or the field or
Right.
the court, but we have to seek out these risks, taking opportunities and get better and practice failing. 1 short minute left. Elite athletes are consistently engaged.
So lots of different things. People imagine what the lifestyle of a pro sport athlete is, and I talk with young athletes as they're transitioning into pro sport. I'd say you got to fall in love with boring. Just be consistent.
Yes.
Your workout routine, your wake up routine, your eating routine, your nighttime routine. All those little things, but what I also like about the little routines is you can stack little wins throughout the day. I got this done, I got this done, I got this done, and then it's like, hey, yeah, I did accomplish it. And on those days when you're feeling a little less good, man, and you get those little wins, that's when it's really, really fulfilling. And it's just that consistent engagement.
And finally, let's be more mindfully engaged. What does that mean to you?
Letting go of the past mistakes, letting go of worrying about what's going to happen. Let's engage the now, and that sets up the future. But I can let go of all these little things and just be here and now. There's a lot of power in being able to kind of double down on the focus of what's going on right in the moment.
I love this conversation. I love kind of peeling behind the curtain a little bit and seeing more about what you do, because you do it so well. Tom, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for inspiring us and motivating us in the right ways.